course, you see by the title, we got Terence Crawford versus
The
Errol
big fish.
Spence. Errol
Big
Spence.
fish.
I keep forgetting they can't see my fucking name. So my name in the StreamYard right now is Big Spence, but you guys can't see that. It's the recording device we're using. But anyway, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Man, this is for all the marbles. As you guys know, this is undisputed. This is for all of it, man. And it's crazy because we got Terrence Crawford, who is on the verge of becoming the first in history, two-time undisputed, two-time undisputed in the
Two
four belt era.
time.
In the four belt era, I have to say in the four belt era because that was Holyfield. Holyfield is definitely the first two-time undisputed champion, but she's not in the four belt era. But nonetheless, Terence Crawford, he has a chance of making history for himself and for boxing. So this is a crazy fight. Um, I almost still don't believe it's happening. I think somebody's going to call out by like Saturday morning. Maybe Terrence is going to pull something in his foot. I don't know. Something's going to happen, bro. I don't think this fight's happening, to be honest.
You still don't think that?
Nah.
Bro,
That's it. That's the end of the podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
we're 48
Nah.
hours away from fight time, brother. This shit's happening.
I'll believe. I made a tweet a long time ago. I was like, I'll believe it when I see him in the ring, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't blame you for saying that, bro. How long has it took for this fight to happen? But
Way too long, man.
it's finally here, man. It's finally here. Both guys look an incredible. Yo, did you see like the back and forth at all at the press conferences, like leading up to it?
You know how I am about these press conferences.
Dude, you
Just
gotta get
before the
locked
just
in, dude.
before this just before this podcast, he had Ferris had me listen to this bullshit UFC podcast. It was or press conference. It
Press
was the
conference. Yeah.
worst, probably the worst
Bro,
press conference I've ever seen.
there was good moments. It
There
wasn't
were
all in
good
all, it
moments.
wasn't the best, but there were good moments, and that's the point of it.
It was too goody two shoes, too clean, too nice for me, man.
To bring it back to Spence and Crawford's, theirs today was nasty, bro. Bo Mac, big man, the coach, and Derek James, Spence's coach's team. They were legit barking back and forth. Yo, there was a point where Bo Mac came to the mic and was like, "Let's work or let's eat" or some shit, and it was like his motto, and he had his whole side screaming it or whatever. So Derek James comes onto the mic and then he starts mocking the big man about let's eat. This motherfucker ate all the Big Macs and Cheetos and this and that. Yo, clowning, bro. Clowning.
I love it.
Yo, and they were barking, man, and they were barking back and forth. And then there was a few Crawford got into it with some people that were there representing Spence and his team. And it was a good press conference, man. I think you would enjoy that one more than the UFC one. But
That's what you like
the
to see,
back and
man.
I love it. This like low key, the press conferences, the talking shit might be like one of my favorite parts of the fight game.
Besides the fight.
Besides the fight, of course, because that's like the bread and butter. But like,
Yeah.
it's a vital part of it. Like having that back and forth, the talking shit, building the hype is so important. Both of them today pulled up in black Air Forces.
Oh, I love it.
Like,
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
come
Just
on, bro. That shit is just making the fight a little bit more exciting with all these little gestures and these little clips. It's a big fight, man. It's a big fight. So
I just
tell me,
want. I just like getting into the fight, man. Like I just want to see them fight. I care about the fight itself. I want to see two of the best fight each other, hopefully we get to see that Saturday. Fingers crossed, we see it Saturday. Anything can happen, but
you still don't think it happens.
I'm in denial, bro. You know how long they've been scared, bro. I've seen
Yeah,
clips dating back to like 2018, bro. Like these guys should have been fighting. Like
yeah,
it's wild how long this feud has been going on for. And like it's just sad. Like we want to see these fights in their prime, and it just
right.
sucks that like now we're seeing it with a fucking 40-year-old T Bud.
Oh,
And
come on.
dude, he's he's not out of his prime, but he's a lot older than
What
what
is
he
he,
could have
30,
been when he
33, 32,
he's dude,
34?
he's like 48, bro.
Bro, what are you saying?
He's like a cool 48 now, man. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but I'm saying he's a little bit older than when they should have been fighting. That's kind of the point I'm making.
Mm,
But nonetheless,
35 for the record.
35. Um, yeah, the fight. I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, we got two guys, two very distinct styles, two very unique guys, um, very sharp at what they do, very uh, just excellent fighters at what they do, man. And that's why they're at the top of their game, and that's why these two are the ones fight each other. Uh, Lots of talk about Crawford getting a KO. I don't know, man. Uh, I don't see Crawford KOing Spence at all in this fight. If anything, and I'm gonna make a bold pick here, I could probably see Spence KOing Crawford. Man.
Mm. Mhm.
That's my honest opinion. I
It's a
think like
possibility. He's naturally the bigger guy. Crawford's a guy who started at a lighter weight classes, moving up. 47 isn't his first stop like
yeah,
it is for Spence. So naturally, he's the bigger guy. So I can see how that can be a part. But like we seen it earlier this week. Sometimes when you move up, you still got the same pop. The
yeah.
smaller guy can beat up the big guy.
No, I agree. I just think that with I don't know. I just think that with Spence, like if the two of them decide to fight on the inside, I'm going with Spence on the inside because his volume, like the volume that he fights at, the pace that he fights at is unbelievable, man. Like, have you seen like videos of him like just hitting the bag?
Mm.
Like just those videos alone, like I know that's not everything, but it's like his pace is unbelievable, and like it shows in the fights, his fights as well. Like he has an incredible pace, man. And if they fight on the inside, I'm automatically going for Spence in a 12-round fight. In an inside fight, he has more volume. I feel like the variety of punches he throws are just way more effective on the inside. And I have to say, man, I take it that into account, man. T Bud's age, man. I just think at this age, I wonder, man, like, can he run around the ring for 12 rounds, like against Spence? Can you run around the ring against anybody else but Spence? Probably, but against Spence, I don't know, man. Um, but Spence Crawford, I should say, on the contrary, he's an incredibly skilled fighter too, man. I feel like everybody eventually gets KO'd by him. That's kind of like the consensus, but I just don't see that with Spence, man. I just don't. I say if anything, like he wouldn't flat out KO him. Like I feel like it would probably be like a TKO or like a doctor or a stoppage or whatever, not doctor stoppage, but like a stoppage. I feel like that's the worst we probably see from Spence. But I don't think he's putting him on the canvas. Like, do you
Mm.
see that? Like,
I mean,
it's not in the books, man. It's not in the books.
I mean, bro, it's boxing, man. Like, who knows what really could happen? Like, what if what if it's not the first shot? What if he knocks him down with a flush shot, wobbles him, and then catches him clean with something that puts his lights out? That could
It
happen.
is boxing, like you said.
That could happen. But at the same time, man, Spence is so smart. Like the ring IQ is so levels above everybody he's ever fought. And he always makes like really, 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 really good guys look pretty average. And for Crawford, he's never fought a guy like that. He's always fought really good champions who were really good at their style, but not good at taking stuff away from you, like Spence could.
Mhm.
But then Crawford, I hear everybody when they talk about Crawford, they always mention his ability to switch and go lefty, go righty, orthodox, and southpaw, and yeah, it's a huge advantage. But like, I don't know, I feel like now it's become a casuals thing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like now everybody's saying that just to like talk about boxing. And it's true. Like that dude's nasty at both sides. He can KO you from either side. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going Crawford.
damn.
I think I'm going Crawford.
I mean, I think it's 50-50, man. I feel like
Yeah.
if you go with any guy, it's really 50-50. I know some people have it a different way. Um, some people have it like 65-35. Like, I understand, man. But I don't know. I just feel like at this age, man, I feel like Crawford is gonna have. I feel like he's gonna have a hard time trying to figure out Spence. I feel like when he starts to fight out, he's gonna have to really invest in like the first few rounds, like really try to figure Spence out because Spence is a hard, he's a hard person to figure out, man, and it's tough, man. It's really tough to kind of get his style. Uh, it's really tough to try to get his style figured out, and if he doesn't do that early, it's going to be a long night for him because once Spence figures him out, it's over from there. Like he's
Mm,
just gonna cruise and do what he needs to do to get the win. And I just feel like the pace as well. Like just with his age, I feel like trying to keep up with Spence's pace,
mm.
those middle to late rounds are gonna be brutal, man. We're gonna see a lot of outside fighting from Spence, and we're just gonna see Crawford still trying to figure him out. This is kind of what I'm predicting. I just feel like he's still gonna try to figure out him out in these middle rounds, and Spence is just gonna be cruising on the outside, popping the jab, doing what he needs to do, putting the combinations together. And if they fight on the inside, I feel like that would be even worse for Crawford. I feel like that would be a much tougher fight for him because of Spence's power and his ability to uh, just have a lot of volume and have a lot of variety in the shots, and that's going to be tough for him as well. But
Yeah, I don't know if Crawford will take
and
the inside approach. I think he'll
absolutely
try.
not. And
Yeah,
I didn't even get to the bread and butter. His Spence's body work is unbelievable. Like the way he invests in the body is unreal, man. And if he turns too late on that, then it's going to be a long night for him as well. So I don't see a KO happening. I don't see any of that happening. But I think it'll be a decision win
four.
for Spence. I think
Mm,
Spence will get
mm.
the decision win here.
I'm hoping it goes. I hope it goes 12.
I think it will.
I hope it does, because then
It's
it
man.
makes everything so much more entertaining with the rematch clauses and the belts, and regardless who wins, regardless how the fight goes, the other side's gonna claim robbery, and I should have won. You know how this shit goes.
Dude, that's what I don't know if you heard Miro. I was like, any mandatories, forget about it. Go to another division. You ain't
Yeah,
seeing any of
yeah,
these two for like
yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna run it back and back and back. Like, this is the biggest fight possible.
go go to another weight class, buddy.
Yeah,
Go to
yeah,
154.
yeah. Meanwhile,
Go fight Charlo.
no bullshit. Meanwhile, what's his name? Boots is like, yo, come on, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get the
Screaming
fuck
for it. Like,
get the
bro,
fuck out of here.
move
Yeah,
up,
get out of here, bro.
move up, man. We want to see Crawford Spence. But like, on the other
But
hand, what if it's an early night? What if one of these guys
if
gets
it's an
caught early, quick? Like, what if that happens? And then it's
then it's
like all
all over the
this
street.
hype, all this weight, all this anticipation
Yeah,
for under delivering fights. So I doubt that's the case. I see it
yeah,
being like a 12 round war, both guys like just beat up and tired, and just gave us a classic. That's what I'm hoping for in this one.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely set up for that as well. Like I said, like both these guys are incredible. I feel like they both have the ability to close the show. That's why I'm 50-50 on it. I feel like I don't anticipate a knockout from Crawford, but I feel like that would be. I feel like that's how he would win. I feel like he would catch him and get him on the ropes and make this a stoppage. And for Spence, I feel like he would just completely outbox him on the inside, and he'd cruise to a decision win here. A close one though. I don't think it'll be like decisive rounds where it's like okay, he's winning 5, 6 rounds in a row. I feel like it'll be back and forth, and the judges will kind of lead towards Spence just because of the volume and the
Mhm.
more impactful shots if they fight on the inside. That's a whole other thing too. If Spence avoids the inside, I feel like this would be a long night for him. Like I feel like his best work would be on the inside against Crawford. I feel like
Finding that
he'll
body work that
abuse.
you talked about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like he'd abuse him on the inside. So if he can get his way in there, which would be tough, but if he figures it out, dude, Spence he's the best at it, man. He's just the
Yeah.
best at doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, there's definitely high possibility of that. But I don't know. I see Crawford dancing and bouncing on the outside using
For 12
using
rounds though, bro,
yeah,
against
bro.
against
When have you
Spence.
I mean, bro, when have you seen Crawford not look like he can just keep pouring it? Around 11, 12,
I
like
want to say something. I know the comments are gonna be crazy, but
he's built for this.
his best win was Gamboa. Like, let's be
Why?
real.
Because he got hurt or something.
Yeah, it was his most credible win, bro. I'm gonna get ripped in the
Yeah,
comments
I
for
mean,
that,
we
but
don't really gotta that's not what this is about. This is
I
about
know
like
it's not. I know it's
talent.
not. I know it's not. I know it's not. But I'm saying like, I just don't see him dancing around the ring with Spence for 12 rounds. I don't see it happening.
W-
I just don't think Spence would allow it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Crawford is
it's boxing though.
is
That's the
is
thing.
s-
That's the beauty.
smart. He's just as smart as Earl is, if not smarter. Like, in
Yeah.
his ability to go from different styles and adapt and fight you at your own game, and most of the time beat you at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he dances around Spence for 12 rounds, but he definitely gives him a run for his money. He def
100%.
he definitely makes Spence uncomfortable. I think I don't know.
That's what I'm
Crawford seemed
saying.
a little bit emotional today too in the press conference. So like I don't know if like that's gonna play a factor. A lot of hype. This is a humongous fight, bro. This is like a
Yeah.
historical type field, man, where it's like this is gonna influence the next generation of boxers. There's gonna be a young kid watching this, like, this is where I want to be one day. This is the type of levels I want to reach. I gotta start boxing like tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it's gonna influence, bro. So
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree fully. This is like I said, and he has a lot more on his plate. I feel like, well, Spence obviously this would be a massive win for him, but I think Crawford, like I said, being the first two-time undisputed world
come
champion
on,
in the four belt era, that's
come
like
on.
who else is close to that? Like Usyk. Usyk is close,
Yeah,
very close to that.
yeah.
So I mean, I would want to be the first person for that in boxing history. So there's a lot on his plate, but I don't. He's not gonna. It's gonna be Usyk, man. I think
Mm,
Usyk is gonna be the guy.
mm. Fair, man. Possibly. Or it could be Spence. He could get it here and then go to 54 and take it there.
Ex- but Usyk would fight before that, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But Usyk got to fight Fury to get that.
Yeah, yeah.
And who knows if that fight ever happens.
Good point. Yeah. So
But
you got Crawford. I got Spence.
I got Crawford. You got Spence. The line is 160. Who's the
For,
favorite?
it's gonna be Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford's the favorite. Spence is the 135
You
dog.
gotta go with, and that's even better, man. You gotta go with the underdog
Do
anyway.
you like it? Are you
I love that. I love that Spence is the underdog because he really is the underdog in this
yeah,
fight, and there's value in that if you want to bet against him.
yeah. I like this I excuse me. I like the Spence line if you're throwing it in a parlay. If I'm adding
Right.
it to a lay with a few UFC fights, maybe throwing what's his name, Pitbull, who's on the co-main. If I'm throwing him on a lay, maybe somebody from the UFC 291, which we'll get into in a second, maybe dice it up. But Crawford at 160, I don't really see.
You got to pull a little pretty penny on that if you want to make
Yeah,
some
yeah,
return.
yeah. And it's so like you said at the beginning of this, it's so 50-50 still.
It
Like it could
really
go
is.
either way, regardless of what we said and like all this. It's so up in the air.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this fight is it really is a dead even fight. Like these guys are so evenly matched, and they have so many different ways of winning this fight that you don't know what to expect. And when you get two guys that are like so good and so talented, this is kind of what happens. You can't really pick a side. But even though we are picking a side in a way,
Yeah.
but that's just for the sake of the podcast. But also, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be one of those, man. It's gonna be a special one.